This is a PSA for all you hiring companies out there. If you require that that person comes to the office 2 out of 5 days or 3 out of 5 days a week, that is not a remote position, that is hybrid. Secondly, if you require that the person lives in the surrounding area, that is not a remote job.
Really hard to find because tech is so broad. There's so many things that you could do with it, and the requirements are ridiculous. So I'm thinking that honestly, like, had I known this, I probably would have like asked for a leave of absence instead, and then like worked this job a little bit longer until I could like find another job. I was really unhappy at this job though, guys.
Things are not looking good for the job market in 2025. First, there's the issue of people not being able to find a job. We got people applying for these jobs, going through the entire interview process, and then never hearing back from them. On the other hand, we got places like Amazon shutting down hundreds of warehouses right now, and thousands of people are being fired. Crazy part is, this is all happening before the new year. So 2026 doesn't look like it's going to be good.
I think that quitting my tech job this year was a mistake. But I kind of don't regret it because like I don't think that I could have worked after what happened with my father. And right now, like I have had so much like free time to like grieve and to really like process my emotions, and also just like I have not had a break from working in so many years. And I know like people are like, well, you're not supposed to have a break, like it's all about work. I don't feel that way. I feel like I worked so hard for so many years, and like I never really took vacations, and I just never had a break, and so that gave me the break. But I do think
I feel like a lot of people think like this, but the problem with that mindset is they never tell you how long that break is for, meaning they rather just use all those excuses so they don't have to do anything. So while working all the time probably isn't the best option, quitting your job just so you can take a break isn't a good option either.
in that like the job market right now is so terrible, and it's hard for people to find a job, and people are like struggling just to like get interviews. I quit back in May, and that was like a month after my dad died, like a month and a half maybe. And I just like, I've been applying to jobs the past like several weeks just to see what's out there and just to kind of get the interview process started, because I just wanted to, well, first I thought I was going to be a content creator. And then I realized like that just wasn't realistic for me. I was having like a complete crash out over my dad dying, and I just like, I don't know. But yeah, I've been submitting my application to like places, and I have a pretty good resume. Like I've been working in IT for years, and I'm finishing my master's degree in IT, and I'm a cloud engineer. So like I have quite a bit of skills, and I cannot land an interview. And the interviews that I have had are like wanting someone with like 10 years of experience in a specific thing. And that is extremely hard to find because tech is so broad. There's so many things that you could do with it, and the requirements are ridiculous. So I'm thinking that honestly, like had I known this, I probably would have like asked for a leave of absence instead, and then like worked this job a little bit longer until I could like find another job. I was really unhappy at this job though, guys. Like the workload was just, it was insane, and I just couldn't really relax ever, especially with my dad dying and everything that happened. Like I didn't even have time off. I am starting to panic just like a little bit. Like I can afford not to work for a little bit longer, but I truly do need to like get back in the workforce and start working again. And it's looking like I'm not going to really be able to take another tech job really quickly. So I'm kind of, I don't know. I'm like looking into other things and stuff. What are you guys doing? I want to know, like, what is everybody's job right now?
People have been having trouble finding jobs for months. This isn't something new. I feel like everybody out there knows that the job market is shit right now. It's hard to find a job, and if you do have a job, you're most likely at risk of being fired. But with that being said, this isn't the time to quit your job either. There was so many other options she could have took instead of leaving her job.
This is a PSA for all you hiring companies out there. If you require that that person comes to the office 2 out of 5 days or 3 out of 5 days a week, that is not a remote position, that is hybrid. Secondly, if you require that the person lives in the surrounding area, that is not a remote job. A remote job means I could be in bumfuck Kilimanjaro, and I can sign in through my VPN and work for you. That is a remote job. A remote job does not mean, oh, in order for us to consider your candidacy, you have to live within 30 to 50 miles. That is not remote. That is not remote. Thank you.
A lot of these companies are really confused on what a remote position is. Wanting somebody to work close to the job and calling it a remote position is not a remote position. If you're gonna get in trouble for working anywhere other than your house, that's not a remote position. Like he said, you should be able to work from a job that's located in California while you're on vacation in Hawaii.
This is your sign to be discouraged from applying to jobs. It is because everyone says, oh, keep being hopeful, and I totally understand this point of view. But it just really isn't that easy. I'm gonna get vulnerable here for a second, but I literally graduated college a few months ago. I've applied to jobs at least every other day. You know, sometimes I have work, so I can't really apply because I have an early shift or whatever, but I apply very often to jobs. I've reached out to people on LinkedIn. I've done the whole gig. I've tried to get a job. I've applied to places in my area. I've applied to places a little bit outside where I'd have to drive like an hour, if not more. And I have gotten literally, I think in total, only 5 responses, and they were, okay, here's like a little follow-up interview that's like 10-15 minutes, or here's like a little survey you can do, and then nothing from that again.
That's what they all do.
I haven't had an interview where I'm speaking to a person in probably 2 months. And every time I have some progress in my application and I do the next step, I hear nothing back. So I'm like, I don't even know where I stand. So for everyone telling you, oh, you'll find a job, stay positive, it's really hard to stay positive. I mean, I'm extremely discouraged. So it's like, I'm not going to lie and tell everyone on here, oh my God, keeping positive, keeping happy. Like, you can't. It's depressing as hell that you can't find a freaking job. When you have a diploma in a very good field, you have experience, you've had internships. Like, Gen Z stare, guys, I'm scared.
It's honestly crazy to think that there's people out there with college degrees who can't get a job. That degree that they went to school for all those years is not helping them with getting a job that they want. A lot of those people with college degrees end up settling for a job that have nothing to do with what they went to school for. So if that doesn't tell you something alone, then I don't know what else will. Right now, the job market is horrible, and it doesn't look like it's getting any better.
Guys, I'm actually in disbelief right now because what is going on, okay? I'm interviewing with Company S, and I had my first round and I passed it, and I'm at my on-site, and the on-site is split onto 2 days, and yesterday was day 1. There were 2 interviews. First interview went well. Second interview, interviewer never shows up. I messaged the recruiter. I'm like, hey, nobody showed up for my interview, and they were like, okay, we'll reschedule. They replied today, let us know your availability. I'm like, just schedule it. I literally, in my first email, I was like, just schedule it tomorrow with the rest of the on-site. Anyway, I told him my availability, and the tomorrow, which it was today, like just now, I have my second round. Mind you, I've been prepping so hard. I'm not hanging out with my friends. I'm not hanging out with my family. I'm just studying. And I log into the call, and nobody shows up again. I am so mad. I just want this to be over. Like, I just want this to be over. I want to finish this interview. I don't want to study for the rest of my life. And I'm just so stressed now because it's like what happened with Company P yesterday, where like they were like, well, the position is now gone. We gave it to someone else. I'm like, if we wait too long, what if you give it to someone? Like, what is this? You know what? Moving to Seattle doesn't sound so bad anymore. Like, I can't do this anymore. Onwards we go.
It seems like people are going through this constant cycle of applying for jobs, going through the interview process, and then being ghosted. Can anybody watching this video right now relate to that? I've seen so many people out there talk about how they apply to jobs, go through the interview process, and then all of a sudden, they just stop hearing from the job. After a while of that happening, that would discourage me too. So I can't imagine the people having to go through this on a daily. The job market is not looking good right now. And with the year coming to an end, it doesn't look like the new year is gonna start off good. Now I wanna know what you guys think about this situation. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. As for the video, this was the end. So if you enjoyed this one, make sure you leave a like on it. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button too so you can stay tuned for the next upload. Until then, I'll see you on the next one.